yeah, and coming into the game, we were extremely positive. We started winning rounds, and it just spiraled from there. We just we just won it convincingly. We're just so confident coming into the game.
Smoking off default. Watch long, Josh.
Deep.
One guy dead.
One more.
Dead.
Last one up.
Aqua.
Billiards.
Relax,
Relax,
Haywood.
Josh, relax.
Right, Haywood.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
god.
What's pops up? Wait.
Good shit.
I'm holding hatch peak at the moment. Watch cool vibes from me.
Nice.
Nice guys.
Beautiful guys. Good fucking plays, Dano. Good shit, Haywood. Everyone.
Brown boys, fuck
Much
yeah.
better.
These guys have changed since the last time.
They're just very fucking
I think I would best these
They're
guns.
very aggressive. Holy shit.
And with less than 9 seconds to go, Pittsburgh with complete control. The ninth will be Pittsburgh ninth, last second.
A way to introduce yourself, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. Coming into Mercenary game, yeah, we thought they were going to be a lot more passive, a lot more predictable. But as soon as we versed them, we realized after the first like 2 rounds that this is not the normal Mercenaries that we've played against before.
We went into it probably like overconfident, and like we just made a lot of early mistakes. So like yeah, that cost us most of it.
That we just need to stop being in the flow really, and just take control of the game, and not let them dictate the pace.
Going into a game and just expecting to win it is bad. I think that's maybe what he meant. Like, you still have to go out there and win it, obviously. So like, expecting teams to do normal things or like out there things, it's just not good. You have to take it by round by round. You obviously know what some teams are going to like prefer to do, but there is variation there. So just never expect to win it. You just actually got to go get it yourself.
They were very aggressive, just very aggressive. It took us a while, just because it was the first game of the day, no warm-ups, and it was just a shock. It took us like 3 rounds, I'm pretty sure, or 3 to 4 rounds. But once we started to adapt and we started to learn how to counter them, it was just that's when the tables turned and we were able to close the match.
In the Mercenaries game, we definitely, I wouldn't say we underestimated our opponent, but we didn't expect them to be as in our face kind of with their playstyle as they were.
It's something we had to kind of adapt to a lot as soon as the new season came about, because we started, like I said, we started scrimming those Asian teams more, and they play a lot differently to what we were used to.
In yet, not in yet.
Landing.
Let's go. Hold up, look at our thing somewhere. I'm lagging.
Josh lagged out.
I'm lagging. What the fuck is going on?
Are you back?
Hello? Am I back?
Yeah, you're here, you're
We
talking.
can always back in the game.
What the? No, my game's still lagging. Hang on, just give it. I was shooting
You're
this
back
planning
now.
and I couldn't.
When a player lags, we can call a rehost or a tack timeout. So when Josh lagged, we weren't too nervous because his first comes to first, he could switch onto his hotspot, because he has lagged before. And normally when a player lags or stuff like that, we don't really let it get to us because we don't want that added pressure, especially when we have a lot of pressure already from the game. So yeah, no, overall we were pretty calm and we were happy, like we didn't really mind.
Not really, because normally when my internet lags, it's like only for like a couple minutes or something. So like it's always just gonna come back. I haven't had like too bad like internet problems, so it was fine.
Not really worried. If something was to happen, we're always ready for our coach Picnic to come in and play for one of us. If one of our nets dropped or PC broke or anything, always ready for that. I think it was kind of like annoying because that happened, but it's sorted out, I think. I can't really remember, but yeah, I wasn't too worried.
I wasn't worried about that because if it got to the point where he couldn't play or it affected his gameplay, we could call for a rehost and he could reset his internet. So it's up to him to call that. So there's not much I can do about it. I'm just focusing on what I'm doing in the game.
Nah, anyone starts lagging, it's just like kind of a I suppose, Aussie thing sometimes, and that sucks. And if it happens, it is what it is. We just deal with it and keep moving forward. Like, it's shit, but there's not much you can do about it. The rest of us pick up and try to cover it. But there was no worries about serious things. It's probably just an isolated incident, I would say.
Run away.
Smoke was on kitchen door stage.
Holding luggage angles to where the fuse is dropped. Probably still holding it, so it's just care.
Luggage.
Yeah, normally, so a good thing about this team is if we lose rounds, we lose. If we lose a round, however we lose it, if it's 5, if they get a flawless round, or even if it comes to 1v1, we still quickly break down the round the same way, and yeah, it didn't really affect us morally, or it didn't really affect us at all. Just them winning 5 like flawlessly, like the round flawlessly.
Obviously, he had to say that because we're playing a site again, and was just assuming they probably would do the exact same thing.
We were a little surprised, but
It's not good. You don't like to have it. So it took us a few rounds to adjust. I do think we started very slow. For whatever reason, it was just a bad start on our defensive half, but we brought it back.
We just broke down the round, see why we lost it, and we were just seeing like they're giving us all these opening picks. We just hold, and they will give us picks for free because they were very aggressive, and I think that was one of the adaptations we made, which actually worked.
After a tough round, like a flawless round to the other team, you kind of just have to reset. Generally, there's not too much you're going to be able to take from it. As an IGL, I can look and I can think, well, obviously what we did isn't working, so I need to like try a new approach, or if I just feel like people aren't in the game, I need to try to get people in the game. But generally, in terms of from an individual standpoint, after a round like that, you just want to put it out of your head and move on.
Yeah, obviously, if you're getting smashed or like you're losing a few rounds in a row, the mood's never great. But as long as you can keep the talk up when you're the better team, like you just keep playing, and things came around. I think we took attack and came out of the other side of that feeling a bit better, and knew that if we just played our game, we would just win. So as long as it doesn't get into your head, you should be alright.
I mean, that's a good start. Like, it's a good game to show that like we can't underestimate anyone. Yeah, like.
Guts Gaming was the opposite. Actually, we started really well. I think we won 3 in a row, maybe 4 in a row. But we really set the tone early with aggression, and just we were playing our game really well. So it was different in that regard. Really, just the start of the game. Just how you start in best of 1 is very important. And they were just polar opposite in the 2 games, but we still managed to take the Mercenaries win as well.
At that time, North was the more favoured region to win. So we were just so confident coming into the game. If we do what we were talked about and what we spoke, we should win the round. We should win the game. Sorry, and yeah, and coming into the game, we were extremely positive. We started winning rounds, and it just spiraled from there. We just we just won it convincingly.
we knew we could definitely take it to them. We just didn't know it'd be that like easy.
Well, Guts is definitely more of a well-known team. Played obviously good during the season because they've made playoffs. Between the teams, Guts is a bit less aggressive. It was a lot more easier against Guts because we had a warm-up. We didn't really have a warm-up scrim before Mercenaries, so it was harder. But yeah, it was quite, when we got into the motion after the Mercenaries, we're fine.
And especially with the new meta, both alongside that Asian playstyle, we had to work fast to adapt and understand it. And I think the stage that we just went by was really good for us in terms of adaptation and being able to counter that sort of playstyle.
Going into Guts, knew the map we were probably going to play. We were also a lot more confident going into it just because we'd actually had a game before it. We were feeling warmed up. We were playing very much night and day. If you look at the 2 games, everything just seemed to click for us that game. Everyone was hitting shots. Everyone was either clutching up or getting entries. So it was just feeling good that game.
Not really. A little issue we have on this team is as soon as we are on the last couple rounds, nerves start to kicking in more because we don't want to throw, even though it's like it's countering ourselves. So we kind of switch our playstyle and become more passive, which against teams like Guts, you shouldn't and you can't, or they're just going to capitalize on it. So I never had a doubt in my mind we weren't going to win the game. I just thought, we just kind of threw a couple rounds, it's fine.
We were all just playing confident. We knew we could win our ones, and like we clutched so many rounds in deficits that we were just feeling on fire.
Nah, at about like the 5th round, I was feeling really confident right there. Like, obviously anyone can come back if your mental's strong enough, but I think the way that we were winning rounds was enough to just put any team under at that point. So closing out, I don't think it was too difficult. Just pretty confident in that.
To be honest, heading into that game, I was more concerned about our defenses than I were about our attacks. So when we went up 5-1 on the defense, I knew that this is in our hands now. Let's close it out. I didn't expect them to make a comeback.
In terms of Guts, they were completely the other end of the spectrum. They were a lot more structured. We knew we had a lot of info on them, and we knew if we took them to a map like Clubhouse, we could just force them to play their structure, and we could play a lot more aggressive against them and catch them off guard, which is what worked for us.
We've been practicing with those situations and all that, with people just being switched on in those scenarios and it's not throwing lives away for no reason. So yeah, I guess we're always prepared for those type of clutch situations, and always knowing that, you're never out of the round until you've lost a round.
So we really wanted to verse Guts and Fnatic because they were North team.
We're like improving a lot with our comms recently.
Definitely had to adjust. I'll have either teammates come over and help, and just completely deny them
how they kind of played. I think when we went into the map veto process, we just said, let's take them to a map where we can just kind of play it more freely. We don't have to rely on a strategy.
You could say it's lucky by them giving us the opportunities, but once they give the opportunities to us, then I think it's just good teamwork and capitalizing on what they presented us.
It definitely depends on the situation, but I'd say those situations are what wins you games. You're never going to be flawless every round. So I would definitely say if we're consistently winning those 2v, 3vx situations, it's good communication and teamwork that's getting us those wins.
This is the same Xbox recorded gameplay of the G36C used by Ash. Garbage. That guy gets it. This is what it feels like to have an amazing clip but have no skin. We can help. Now this right here, this is something. This is something to feast your eyes on. Good clips, something interesting to look at besides the default gray or elephant skin. This is true gameplay to the max. See, isn't that more pleasing to look at? Look how shiny that is. Don't be the same boring old Ash player. Pick up the Night Strip today and start living that luxury life.